Hello, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends. Hello. Welcome to my channel, to the channel of Conscious Creations. I'm Sagit Cohen of Conscious Creations. Great to have you here again. Today is Tuesday, and in Israel, in Hebrew, it's actually the third day of creation, Yom Shlishi. On this day, God blessed this day twice by saying it's a good day. And for me, the number 3 stands for relationships. And this is the subject of the video today. Mainly karmic, soulmate, and twin flames relationship. So Conscious Creations, this channel that you're watching, this YouTube channel that you're watching, was based on a relationship, is based on a relationship, on a twin flame relationship. However, I would like to distinguish these things today. You know, we have karma, soulmate, twin flame. We have all of those names, and they are all there to pinpoint us towards something, towards a place where the brain can make a connection with. But let's for a second just put those names aside. You come to this lifetime already with a certain baggage. And you are born into a narrative, into a frame of a story. You're born into a family, into a certain history of the people that you're born to. And this is being given to you. You don't ask for it. It's being handed to you. You are groomed. You are being brought up to believe in those stories, in the stories of the lines of your family, in the stories of the line of your people. The heritage of the people where you are at, your last name, your nationality. So you come here already with a certain amount of karma, let's say, that you drag from past life, or that you need in order to move into a certain experience. So karma is not something that is only brings you from a lifetime to another lifetime. It is also something that you keep on repeating, that you keep on perpetuating. It's a story that is very much related to the dharma, the wheel of life. What you do, what you put in, the energy that you put into, what you invest, is what you reap, and what you sow is what you get in return. It's a wheel that you are constantly turning. And relationships are another aspect of you, holding a mirror in front of your face, showing you how you are, how you behave, reacting to your thoughts that comes from your mind, or hopefully from your space of heart, your heart space. So relationships are the triangle, the pyramid of creation. It gives you, it elevates you to a point where you can look at how you behave with somebody else. How you talk, how you react, what emotions are invoked with you, how you react to things, what you do, your feelings, and your words and your actions. This is a reflection. This is another point of view. Relationships are another point of view. It's a relation in English. It has to do with something else, with something that is out of you. Now, how you act on that creates a certain dynamic, and that dynamic, you can see it as a ball turning, as a wheel, and you can very much call it karma. For what you put out there, it's what will come back to you, either instantly or down the line. Depends on how willing you are to absorb that back, how conscious you are into receiving back what you're putting out there. So in this lifetime, everything will happen to you. You're already exposed to karmic relationships, to soulmate relationship, and to twin flame relationship. You are exposed to that. You know there's themes, you've heard about it, and if you haven't, you hear about it from me right now. So this is already in your dharma karma cycle. This is already in your life, in your reality. And actually all of this is connected. For all of this, again, is a reflection of how you do relationships. It's a third point of view of you viewing how you are communicating, how you are interacting. All of them are connected through you. You are the center point. And all of them will be spread out across your entire life for you to do something with it. Many people try to reject it, to go away, right? Many people have a negative notion of karmic relationship, toxic relationship. What is this? Where does this come from? This person is toxic? This relationship is toxic? Where does the toxic come from? Where is the toxin? Does somebody throw venom and toxins and bad things and chemicals into your life and into your relationships? If this is how you choose to see life, then you are a victim of the circumstances. We choose to see life right now as I am the creator. I am manifesting what is happening into my life that allows me to take responsibility of what's happening in my life. So if I'm in a karmic relationship or with a toxic person in a toxic relationship, I am responsible for that. And the responsibility doesn't mean I go away. Because when I walk away, the karma wheel doesn't stop. The poison, the toxic, doesn't cut off an end. Because it belongs to me. It's a part of who I am. I am playing into that. I am feeding that toxic relationship. I am choosing that karmic relationship, that karmic partner. Why? Because I am still playing in that game. I haven't had enough yet. I haven't reached the point where I know everything that I need to know around that and that I've made my peace with that. It's not enough just to know mentally, oh, this is, I'm playing in some kind of a dharma karma wheel. I am playing into a toxic relationship. It's not enough just mentally to know that or to observe that. That's the first step. That's great. Great that you're there. The next one is to take responsibility for that, not to blame anybody else. To look into yourself and to understand how do you play into that and why do you still making that choices. Because this is the point of disconnect. This is the point where you are understanding, okay, I'm full of that. I don't need that anymore. I have been having a need. I have been playing into that wheel because I have been feeding myself through that energy. What I'm putting out is what returning back to me. And it will continue going back to me until I'll start putting it out there. And at that point, karmic relationships can turn and will turn into something beautiful. There might be a release right there and then, and two people go to their own spaces and they find a way to heal that gap and to love each other, and they don't need this anymore. And it can turn into a soulmate relationship, where you realize that you've been playing a certain game with a certain kind of a soul in so many different dimensions. You could say dimensions, you can say lifetimes, it doesn't matter, it's all happening right now. So when you turn that, when you stop putting a certain energy out of you, you start putting a different energy out of you, an energy of sharing, of compassion, of love, of empowerment, then this comes back to feed you. And those persons that that they are ready for that too, that also have made that change, that shift inside themselves, will be there for you. And they might have been karmatic persons from before. Now they are ready to play with you a different game, a soulmate game, where you inflame each other, where you create something amazing together without attachment, or let's say with very less attachment. There's always some kind of an attachment over there, I guess, until we are ready to really split the things. So this is what we put out there, is what comes back to us, and then we have the chance to change that again and again, to change that energy, to shift that by looking into ourselves, taking the responsibility and making that change. And at a certain point, you realize that you've always been in that fork on your life. At a certain point, you realize that all of this triangle of relationship, that point that you look into how you're doing relationship, when you finally get that, then you make another shift in your consciousness, in your awareness, and you realize that you have been playing those two polarities, that it's always about you, that how you've been perceiving the next person, your karmatic friend, your toxic relationship, your brother, sister, your neighbor, your boss, how you have been experiencing those people, it's a part of who you are. The image that you have of them exists only in yourself. They have a complete different analysis of who they are. So suddenly you realize that it's not only you and a different person, it's you and that version of you in that different person. And when you realize that, can you realize that for a second? Every person in your life is an image of who you are. Even the ones that you don't want to see and that you don't want to talk with, those toxic ones, they are representative of a toxic part inside of you. And if you're trying to reject that, you're trying to reject a part of yourself. Why? Because you've been a child and somebody told you that you shouldn't do something or that you are doing something wrong. So you try to reject something that you see on the outside that is reflecting back to you what you don't like about yourself. So make that understanding. Allow your brain to ease into that understanding. I know that it's a bit challenging. Every person that you have in your life is reflecting back to you an image of who you are. And when you can really understand that, then you are in that split. You are in the midst of duality. You understand that it's you and you on the other side. It's a you and the version of you reflected by the other person. And when you can really grasp that, then you fall from that split, that separation of duality, you fall into the center of it. That point from which duality came from and emerged from. And that point is again you. And in that point you are united. You are united with yourself and you are united with creation. And when you are in that point, you are ready to experience twin flame relationships. For those relationships will constantly be a reminder to you, hey, go back to yourself. You've experienced something amazing with me, amazing, totally out of this world. But it's about you. Stop looking into me, stop looking at me. Stop running after me, stop avoiding me. It's not about me, it is about you. This is twin flame relationships. And there comes a lot of responsibility with it, because you understand that you are responsible for the whole universe that you experience, everything. Something to think about.